École Sénégal.
Jana together with son manga jungle gita do bouger do fire. Nge elef te tolo chi exam linga sarla am the fita mugena.
Sur école.
She has been knocking at your door. She has been knocking at your door. She has been knocking at your door. Perfect continuous have been knocking at your door. So let's pause for a minute and try to look at, the similarities, how it's easier. I told us in the beginning that it's important to know the personifications of a conjugaison. The first, I, you, he, it, we, you, they. I said that in conjugating all the tenses, the auxiliaries to be and have a primordial. They have to be there. We said that for the past, an event that has passed, we said that we're going to use ed, because any event that has passed, obviously we use ed for regular verbs especially. Regular verbs, we use ed. It's important that you know regular and irregular verbs. Ed. And then for the difference is, here we add s or es, or leave the verb simple. We add s or es for verbs, especially for third parties, or he, she, it. Present continuous progressive, as was or were. It's the verb to be conjugated in the past tense, was or were, plus the verb ing. With the present, it's am, are, is, plus the verb ing. I am, you are, he or she or it is, plus the verb ing. And then we go to the perfect, which is had plus the past participle or ed, which in the present tense, or the present tense or perfect present tense, it is have or has plus the verb. The verb plus the verb. And then we have finally the perfect continuous. Had been plus the verb and ing. Whereas with the present perfect continuous, it's have been plus the verb ing. So that is some of the similarities that we have. Of course, we can talk about affirmative, something that is positive. Affirmative is something that is positive. For example, let's have an example of something that's affirmative in the present tense. I travel to Paris every summer. I travel. That's a present simple. I travel to Paris. I travel to Paris, for example. That's an affirmative. The present simple, present tense. I travel to Paris every summer. What will be, that's an affirmation. That means it's positive. It means, yes, I truly do something that actually happens. What's going to be the negative of it? The negative of it's going to be, I don't, because do not is the I don't travel to Paris. Don't is the negative, because it means do not. I travel to Paris. I don't travel to Paris. Interrogatory means it's questionable. It's questionable. Do I travel to Paris? Do I travel to Paris? Do I travel to Paris? Of course, you have the question mark. Do I travel to Paris? Let's try past tense. They played football yesterday. They played. Past tense. They played football. They played football. What will be the negative? They didn't. They didn't. They didn't play. They didn't play football. They didn't play football. What's the question? Interrogation. What's the interrogation? Did they play football? Yeah. Good job. Did they play football? Did they play football? Of course, you have the question mark. It's important. Your punctuations are always important. We're going to have a lesson on punctuation, so you have to be able, because, it's important, else the sentence goes a cake. We know that after a question, there's always a punctuation mark. We know that after a sentence, if the sentence is completed, we know that it's a full stop. If a sentence is a long segment, we know that it's a comma. We know that if it's an exclamation, we have to put an exclamation sign. If we're repeating someone's words verbatim, we know we have to put them in quotes. So it's important that you know the punctuation marks. So these are affirmations, past tense. Let's go to future. We know that with future, it's always important. The core with future, the core with it is to add will. That's the core with future. Future. Susan will start school Monday. Susan will start school next week. Next week. What's the negative? Can we try? Okay. Susan will not start school next week. Susan will not start school next week. What's the question? Interrogation. Will. See? It changes. Will Susan start school next week? Next week. And we have a question mark.
Jana together with son manga jangale gita do bouger do faywa. Nge elef to tolo chi exam linga sarla am the fita mugena.